Hey everybody, Dr. Dan here, and this week we are going to learn about a gentleman named Robert Noyce. And to me, as someone who teaches history of American business and history of technology, Noyce is my hero. I think he is one of the most important people in the history of American business, and he's also a person that no one's ever heard of. He's very much unlike Ford and Edison and Jobs in personality, but he is really a brilliant guy at the forefront of an absolute revolution in American technology, and that is the integrated circuit. So Noyce's story is great. He is from Grinnell, Iowa, which, if you haven't been there, is a great place. There's a college there, Grinnell College, which is cool, and a great Mexican restaurant there as well, I might add, right off of Interstate 80. But that aside, Noyce is someone who studied engineering, electronic engineering, and eventually found his way out to Silicon Valley and began to work with technologies such as the transistor and eventually the integrated circuit. And he worked with a company called Fairchild Semiconductor, and eventually him and his coworkers, one of them Gordon Moore, whose name you might recognize from the notion of Moore's Law, which has to do with computing power, Moore and Noyce and others began Intel. So you all know who Intel is and how important they are to business today and how innovative they are. So Noyce really was not singularly the founder of Intel, but certainly instrumental in the founding of Intel with other co-workers at the time. So it's a great story. It's a great story about the integrated circuit. It's a story that most people don't know, but you know, all of us rely on the integrated circuit for everything we do today, whether it's the cell phone or our computer or our automobiles or the operation of the electrical grid. You know, everything that's controlled by integrated circuits, by logic circuits, depends upon some of the ideas that Noyce originally came up with. And he's a cool guy. It's a great story. So no reading for this week. You're going to watch a movie called, or a documentary called Podfather, and I've supplied a link for that. I think you'll find it very enjoyable, and I think you'll find Noyce to be a fascinating individual. Besides his engineering prowess, there's also this idea that Silicon Valley goes from nothing to Silicon Valley during his time, so you'll learn that in the documentary that you watch. And also this notion of a new style of employee relations. You know, we talked about Henry Ford and this idea of $5 a day, but also this notion of paternalism with Ford and this idea of a hierarchical structure. Well, Noyce blows that all out of the water, because in Noyce's world, with the beginnings of Intel especially, you know, everybody's treated equally. Everyone has the same size cubicle. There's no one parking space for the president. Everyone's treated the same way, and everyone has the freedom to provide input, to help with the manufacturing process, to help with the engineering process, and sort of this idea of the open workplace, which has evolved full circle, especially in Silicon Valley, at places like Apple or at a facility like the Googleplex, where employees do their own thing and they're taken care of. So Noyce is really responsible for sort of this new style of employee relations, in addition to the technologies that he brought to bear. So Podfather is a great documentary. You're going to watch that this week. We'll have a little micro quiz discussion board, and we will move on to the last week of the semester. Have a great week. Be careful. Bye-bye.